Hey, how's everybody doing out there in the land of racial change? I'm Tomlin's Nyback. This is 365 Days Toward Racial Change. I'm glad you are keeping up with this program. I'm honored that you would take any time to listen just even a few minutes to what I got to say on this subject. I'm not an expert by any means, just a subject that has really resonated me. What's the subject? Well, Black in America. Uh, why are we the way we are, where we're at? Why is our position in this rich nation why does that position seem to be fixed, immutable, unalterable in America? Why is it so hard to kind of get in front of social and economic activity in America for Black people? These are the things we are looking at and working on here on this platform. I'm concerned about the mind of America, Black mind, whether it's still adhering to the slave mentality, conditioning, the white mind, whether it's still adhering to privilege, to favor in America and the world. Second big burden is for financial literacy. Black people need to understand how money works and all that. You know, we make it and all that. I got people close to me, Black folks doing well and stuff like that. But I wonder if they understand what's going on, how money's working, how a minority is in control of money, and they manipulate it. They play both sides and all that. And as with anything, more knowledge you have on a subject, an item, the better equipped you are to fight against it, or you make an informed choice to comply with the status quo. But financial literacy is important on that note. I'm inspired by a man named Dr. Claude Anderson, read 3 of his works. A Black history reader, 101 questions you never thought to ask. Black labor, white wealth, search for power and economic justice. We are in leadership recommendations, number 4 today out of that book. And Dr. Anderson's National Plan to Empower Black America. You can find Dr. Anderson at powernomics.com. We got plenty of material from him. We're sourcing sometimes my own experience. Maybe we'll rip something out of the headlines, critique some media, we take a look at all these sides to get the Black mind mobile and moving, making informed decisions. Behind me, you'll see a hashtag #us2 symbol. That's for Black women supporting one another, getting counsel there from one another. Check out Black Enough, BLAGGENUF, kind of a Black Facebook experience. If you can't find your voice, your community here with all these millions of channels, you don't have to be confined to YouTube. Plenty other platforms and places. We're going to talk about technology today. If you still can't find your place, then do what I did, start your own and see what happens. I got a handful of private subscribers. I meet consistently with some of the people watching and get a lot of support from them. Some are white. So that this is not a hate channel. We were talking about a complicated issue, some complicated solutions and all that, but we're not militant in any way here, but much more on the passive side, I gotta say. On that note, I still have a job. If you followed the past couple days drama that crept up in my life. Um, and finally, we have story time, fictional look at slave life in America, slave ownership, the slave ownership institution, politics in America. Harry Beecher Stowe's phenomenal work, Uncle Tom's Cabin. On that note, after we're just got another day or two on these leadership recommendations, and we've come to a chapter for some reason that resonates with me. It's very close to my heart. Chapter 20, called Topsy, in Uncle Tom's Cabin. We're going to get to that in the next few days. We're going to really zoom in, spend some time in Uncle Tom's Cabin, I think. I think that'll be good for us. Partly because my life's going to get busy. I'm going on vacation, but don't worry. I'm committed to posting every day. We're going to see how that works. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's get into this. Get into this post today. I'm not sure how long, what the length is going to be, but it's an important topic. Dr. Anderson rightly inserts it. You know, so far we talked about a unifying goal, creating a Black Leadership Institute. You know, a Black public policy. Now, to do that, to get all that working over a large geographical area, over people with different ways of contact and contacting each other. You know, I'm an email guy. Though I have some aversion to it. I'm going through trying to get some mental breakthrough with answering emails when they come in, or at least looking at them. We all got different phones. I've got a flip phone. I just go with the cheapest piece. You know, I just want to text and talk when I want. You know, someday I will graduate, get a smart device. I've had one, many in the past, and I'm not really impressed. I'm not into technology like that. But you know, needing tools to get everybody communicating, you know, maybe a message board, chat rooms, you know, all these things we can harness the power of all these things and use it to our advantage as an organized front, you know. And let's talk about some of the things. Top of the list, obviously, social media. I'm not going to endorse any particular platform. Of course, if you're watching this, it's on YouTube. I'm not sure if other platforms share or whatnot. I haven't gotten much into the politics, legalities, and all that stuff just yet. But if you're here on YouTube, yeah, you know, you've got a video platform. You got chat platforms, email platforms, you know, specialties, photographs, social networks in terms of organizing groups, you know, having a page people visit and all that. These are all important tools to get communities working together, working in concert, in harmony with each other of that collective body. It's very important. So we don't get around social media. It helps out a lot. Now, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I'm not a big social media guy. You know, I turned off my notifications from a site. I don't go to the site much. You know, it's just too much going on in there. You know, what brings me peace in my life is a lot of other things, music and whatnot, interest me. Reading books, physical books. I like doing that. but I don't want to kind of get trapped in the social media space, because then, I noticed like when social media was really getting going, one could easily just get wrapped up in there and stay in there and like be so impotent as far as life and the world. I found that happening to me, trying to keep up, every day. It really came to a head when I was in my first round in school. I'm going back in a couple of weeks. But, it's every day you hear a new platform, a new website, a new social media opportunity. And I'd go and run, try to sign up and get and participate, but I had no power, no focus there. So, with all of the social media sites, all the opportunities to get online, to have a say so, um, with all that, we're going to need a sense to focus with so many choices. Yeah, and it's hard. You want to reach. Of course, you want to reach as many people as possible. Therefore, you need to maximize the number of platforms, and how you interact in that space. So, like, if I was going to be the leader, I'd outsource that. And you can actually outsource that kind of stuff, and you can hire people to make you look real good, and you never even have to come to the site, but they'll be there, post for you, everything regarding your interest and whatnot. So social media, with all that, let me just finish on social media by saying you gotta focus. I can't stress that enough. Um, the technology, social media, whatever else we talk about is there to serve us, not us there to serve it. Okay. We'll need a national information network. Now, Dr. Anderson's like, of course, he's got the global mindset on all this stuff. He's traveled the country with governors, President Carter back in the past. So, he's not giving a whole lot of energy and time to minutia. He's looking at more globally, larger numbers over bigger geographical areas. To do that effectively, we're going to need a website or some central electronic location to gather information, to be compiled. People will need people to man that space as well, or remotely. It is going to be an electronics space, and that brings me to my point too. We'll finish. A centralized electronic space. As I go through this, and I'm glad we hit this technology point squarely today, because it brings up my concern for land ownership. So, we can float, amongst the sea of social media, politics, and all that for the rest of our lives, but without a foothold, some roots down deep in the soil of America, we're going to be, our time is always going to be challenged. We're going to need, you need a house. America has the White House, and it's not It's not a social media platform, right? It's a physical space, centralized, where the centralized power originates and articulates itself from into the American landscape. So that's important to me. I don't want to leave technology with, giving it some condiments about land ownership for Black people. So what's said in North Carolina, same in New Mexico, Oregon has the same message as Rhode Island. Everybody is unified and moving together. And finally, we could bring our collective force to bear in the boundaries of America. We would have some distinguishing marks. A holiday, we've got August 10th coming up, keep that in mind. The Harvest something holiday. Got to look that up again. Go to powernomics.com and there's a harvest link. Click that, and Dr. Anderson has some words on there what his vision for that is. Holidays a big concern of mine. I love talking about holidays in and among and for Black folks. Celebrate something. Um, Emancipation, liberation, anything, but get a Black celebration going. Those celebrations show that these other ethnic groups care about what they're doing. The Irish, the Jewish have very much a God-centered holiday schedule, if you will, but it works. It makes them distinguishable as a certain people. Jews and our brothers and sisters in Islam. They don't eat pork. Something like that. I go anywhere in the country, and a person ordering some food makes a comment about pork, and I know a little something about them because their group is uniform across the world, actually, on this issue of not eating pork. It's extremely important. It's a value to them, and so that's one of their distinguishing characteristics or marks. We'll gather data. Data accumulation is important. We'll need it to serve us. We'll need data to help us focus together. I only know it. I don't know it from like a political standpoint so much as the workforce. There are quotas where I work now. You'll hear them over the radio talking about how many packages for this carrier were scanned so far as to see if they're on pace. And it's some kind of calculation between the people in that space and the number of boxes, and it should be going at a certain rate. So we want to gather that kind of data about Black people. Where are they living? How? Income level? Are they working? Educational level? All these things. And a lot of it's known. Nothing I'm saying today, I'm sure, is a no-brainer, is challenging to you as far as what Dr. Anderson is trying to convey, especially this point on technology. We want to use the electricity to better Black lives, and we want to use it as just a tool to organize, to get news out, um, see in what direction communities are heading, see who's on our side and not. Not all black. Just because the skin is black doesn't mean that it is bent on resolving these issues here of racial change at all. So technology is long plenty to work on. I'm kind of the outlier of it because I resist getting so caught up that I'm losing myself and not getting anything done. It's like my email is the biggest social um, event on my calendar, on my daily calendar. Besides work, email. The rest of the time, I'm kind of alone. But there are platforms um, that's gathering data, employing data, that's transmitting data. Um, it's going to need to be very much a part of the workings of black leadership. Not much to say on it. I don't want to hold you hostage. Technology, when the next generation's coming along, it's just going to be more websites and more opportunities, and more sophisticated equipment and all that. Just remember, like the bare bones, the technology. It's a tool to serve the black people, to get them in a better position socially, economically in America. I'm Thomas Nyback. That's day 194 out of the way. 365 days towards racial change. Bye-bye. I'm going to get some sleep right now, obviously. I'll see you tomorrow. Eyes wide open. Bye-bye.